So now let's talk about machine learning's lifecycle. One of the most important things that we talked prior was asking the right question. Many of the time what happens out there is you ask a question and you have a problem set to solve, and then you just go with the lifecycle of machine learning that we can discuss. You go and prepare your data. So what happened here is that one of the most critical fact is most of the time you spend while doing a machine learning process would be cleansing of your data. What comes in cleansing is majorly that the data won't be in the shape that you right away put into your algorithm, train the model and test that, and boom, you're done. Most of the times the data you're having is incomplete. Maybe that includes the columns that are not filled with complete values, null values, empty values, or maybe the data which is not that much appropriate. And this might happen that you need data from more than one sources. Here, Azure Machine Learning comes to play. Like, you have an idea about Azure's data set and data sources and the numerous different level of data sources that Azure offers. So you can use any of the data source out there to prepare the data. You can do the transformations using single clicks and drag and drops. You can simply transform the data in the format you like and super easy single clicks and steps. After you've prepared the data, you just make sure that there is not, I would say, no null data or no empty space in the data. You just move to the next process. And the next process is selecting the algorithm. So it depends on what kind of machine learning you're doing. That might be supervised or that might be unsupervised. You select the respective algorithms. Like that might be any of the algorithm that you decide to just go with. And then you train the model. You use the different testing data to train the model. And once you train the model, you just test that model. But in case things doesn't go right, you don't get the respective solution or maybe respective model that is not, or that might not be trained particularly in a way that solves your problem. So there are a number of facts that you need to consider. Like, have you asked the right question? So in case for a failure, first of all, the first thing you need to consider is go back and go to the stage where you ask yourself that have you asked the right question or not. This part is like really super important. Most of the times we never ask the right question. Then preparing of the data is very critical kind of thing. So each and every step here is, I would say, the earliest steps are more critical ones. Like asking the right question and preparing the data are really important ones. Then you move to selecting algorithms, though the other ones are really important too. But the more you spend time in these basic three structures, you'll get the better experience of machine learning. Make sure you ask the right question, you prepare the data appropriately, you select the respective algorithm that is required for solving that particular kind of problem. Like, you might decide to use a different algorithm for a different kind of problem that might not give you a final result. In a simple manner, input garbage is equal to output garbage. It's a simple mechanism of machine learning. You give the right data, you ask the right question, you get the right answer. So make sure you spend more time on asking the right question, preparing the data, selecting the algorithm, training the model, and then testing the model. So this is a flow. Wherever you fail, go back, do it again. It's a loop that you need to follow to make sure you're doing the things right. And here, Azure Machine Learning comes up with like super easy and effective manner that you can do with single drag and drop, and you can do really You need not to code anything. You need not to select the algorithm and read about the algorithm and do respective things. You'll have a set of algorithms that are majorly, vitally used by machine learning scientists or the data scientists out there. And you can simply drag and drop input and get the output out there. Just like a black box, you need not to worry about what's happening inside, what code is being executed out there. Just make sure you use a respective algorithm and boom, that's done. Get started with as many sources that you want. That might be a storage account, that might be a SQL database, or any kind of source that you want to use in Azure. And with that, when it comes to training models, so it's super easy in a very simple, effective, real way. You will be able to do that. And then testing the model is also easy. So all in all, Azure Machine Learning Studio would do wonders for you to follow this process and come up with a production level web services and web solution, or maybe any kind of desktop and other solutions that integrates with machine learning standards and machine learning experiments, and give you the data that is not, or maybe get not, sorry, not the data, but give you the experience that is not statically typed using the code, but that is for the dynamic kind of data, for very different kind of data coming. But make sure the data is similar. So this is, I would say, the learning life cycle of machine learning, and this is also, I would say, your roadmap for solving a machine learning particular problem. So get started with the problem today. Make sure you understand your problem, and from there we'll take it. And in the next video we'll talk about Machine Learning Studio of Azure, and then we'll talk about how you can get that machine learning environment, and then we'll move into the real stuff. Thank you. Till next time, enjoy.